Hi everyone, this is Darren from Simnation. Just going to start the new Zero to Hero series. I've made some modifications this season that are going to make life a little bit harder on me. So just to recap what happened last season, I took Notre Dame. They had a pretty good yield, not as maybe great as I wanted them to, but still not bad. If I can find them, I'm going to hold on to them this season to see if I can't get them farther than I did last year. But if you remember, I completely redid the whole team, and as a result, what you can see is they went from being pretty middling to 10-3. They just missed out. They were ranked like I think like 18th. And again, I couldn't beat a ranked team except for Georgia Southern. Was the only team I think that I beat that was ranked. And I completely redid the roster and just basically missed out on the playoffs. So I'm still like 1 for 9 in the Zero to Hero series since I changed the format to I have to take over the team on the season flip. So this year's team is Appalachian State. So this is going to be doubly hard because Appalachian State is not a Power 5 team and they are pretty pathetic. They are 1 point removed from being the worst team prestige-wise, and they are the worst team when it comes to averages on players. So if we look at them, they did have a heyday of success. That was under Gary, really. And then after that, they've just been really bad since Gary moved on. So if you look back, you would have to go back all the way to 2040, of course in 2060, so that's like 20 years ago, that they actually had a winning record. The last time that they went to a bowl was last year, but they were 4-9. They really shouldn't have went to a bowl. Same hill, right? That's some wonkiness. But if you see that they really have not been all that good. So um, the caveat that I'm adding this year is so traditionally I wipe the whole team, build the team up from scratch, um, and then I wipe the whole coaching staff and build the whole coaching staff up from scratch. I'm going to throw a little caveat this year. I can't get rid of the head coach, and I can't get rid of any existing coaches. So this is going to make this pretty hard on me because one of the things I rely on is my ability to get rid of coaches. And you can see this guy's just not good at all. I'm already regretting this, but I don't even know what he's going to do for me at this point. And then of course Caleb Martin's not that much better, but at least he can coach an offense. So the reason why I'm bringing up the coaches is again the first thing I need to start with is I'm gonna run a vertical offense. Running backs focus on running the ball, limiting the other duties. So that's fine with me. He likes power formations. I don't like that, but especially out of vertical, I don't understand that one. But I can at least hire my defensive coordinator. So one of the things I've showed a couple times now is if you go to this, you can see the different people available. Now, I'm not going to hire anybody from another school. I try to avoid that. But what I'm looking for here is I'm going to run a 4-3 or a 3-4. Ideally, I'd like a 4-3 hybrid, but I'm going to go with the best coach I can find. Nicholas Stevens looks like this guy. He actually probably should be my head coach, but we'll just go with this. So I'm going to go ahead and make an offer to him. I am going to lowball him because I just don't have a lot of money. Um, in fact, I think if I'm looking at this, I only have like $1 million left. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna change this on the fly. I need to. I can't hire a whole coaching staff with $1 million. Oh well, we can do it. So okay. So let me think about this. One, two, three. It's about 10 coaches. So I have $1 million. I could give them each 0.1. I don't think the game will let me do that though. So we'll see what this offer comes out as. So we're going to offer him $100,000. I'm going to be realistic and just give him a 1 year deal. I don't think he's going to take it. I wouldn't take it. Now, the key here is one of the things I showed everyone last season is when you're looking at all the other coaches, one of the things I will tell you that you probably should look at is finding people who are good at the different things. So, like a trainer, you want someone who's motivating, ideally, someone who has good trainer skills. So, what I normally do is I go to head coach, I will click it over to ratings, and then again, I'm gonna look here. I've already done a couple of these things. I'm gonna take a look at these coaches, and what I'm gonna see is how well they do development and how well they do motivation. Those are the two key ones for me. So we'll just flick it back. And what I'm going to focus on is like motivating and find a coach who's really good at it. And then I'm going to flick it back just to see where he is. So from this guy up, um, let's see if any of this is. So we'll go with Ready. I don't think anybody's going to try or hire him. So I can feel less guilty about that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick it back over to head trainer. Um, and yeah, actually, I shouldn't do that. That's like gaming the system. Yeah, we'll because I'm gonna pay people very like low wages. I probably don't want to do that, but I do want to do it. So what we're gonna do is just go to head coach. We are going to click him and yeah, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm sorry for the video. I'm struggling because one part of me wants to be successful, but the reality is that's just gaming it. So I'm in Appalachian State. So one of the things I want to find is someone who knows North Carolina. We'll take this dude. I'm gonna lowball him anyway, so I can feel a little bit better about that. So um, I'm gonna have no recruiting budget, by the way, which is gonna make this even worse. So we'll go to head scout. We're going to do the same thing. This one will be a little different because I'm going to look up scouts and just find someone who, again, has something in a area that I kind of care about. Probably this one will be like Georgia. Um, I'll just go into my favorite stomping ground from a recruiting perspective. Shark will get mad at me again, but we'll go to head recruiter. I thought I did that, but okay. And then what we're going to do is just go ahead and sort again. I should have sorted descending. There we go. Now, what I probably want is Virginia or Maryland. We'll choose Maryland in this case. I'm sorry, he's Tennessee. Actually, Tennessee wouldn't be bad. Let's see South Carolina. Again, what I'm doing is I'm choosing people who have a pipeline into a state that I can recruit into. Now, when I get to these, I could look up every one of these coaches and see who's a good quarterback coach, but what I'm really looking for here is motivation. Um, and then again, I'm looking for someone in a state that I actually care about. Um, so I already think I did South Carolina. I don't need South Carolina again, so we'll do Virginia this time. And I'm gonna try to stay on the East Coast because I don't think, one, I'm not gonna have the money to go pretty far out. How much money have we spent so far? We'll look at that in a second. Receiving coach. The problem is I can't go below $1 million, so there's no point. And again, I'm trying to stay with people who I think that will actually sign with me. Now, of course, someone could lowball me and just take the coach. We'll go to Florida. If I can recruit Florida, I may be in good shape. I'm gonna probably choose Texas somewhere here next. So again, what you're noticing is I'm trying to really focus in on will I think I can get a coach. So this time around, we're just gonna go look for Texas, and then I can eyeball who's good. This guy. So we'll do Dominguez again, point 0.1. All these guys are going to be 1 year contracts because I don't want to invest too heavily in them. This next pipeline, I probably want to do. I could do California, but again, I'm not going to have the money for it. So North Carolina, South Carolina, probably do Tennessee since it's nearby, which is this dude. Um, I don't really kill what these guys are. I haven't seen a huge benefit from having them unless they have really great stats. And again, that's where you do the cheese, where you choose the person based on them being a different position. Um, I'm gonna generally try not to cheese, so which I'm probably gonna regret that at some point, but who cares? Who do I want to tick off by going into their state? Um, yeah, boy, yeah, this guy doesn't have a state. Let's just choose him. Um, these guys may really be horrible. Again, I'm not looking at them, but there is a benefit to having them be really good at linebackers. So, like, ideally, in a perfect world, what I would be doing, and this is one of the things I don't like about the game, is it doesn't change this for you, so you can actually quickly and easily see like who is actually a good linebacker coach. Because in theory, you have to go into every one of them. Wow, that guy is really good. I'm gonna go for him. He's probably not going to accept my $100,000 offer. Um, but who knows? Maybe he will. Um, Sometimes what I've also noticed if you choose someone whose home state is that, a little bit that will play in, but it's it's hit or miss. It doesn't really always go in. So let's look at this dude. Yeah, 2 stars is good. I have to be I have to give it what I take. So okay, so now my staff's hired. Um, it's going to be a really great staff. They're going to do such a great job for me with the $100,000 each. Um, Again, I'm not going to cut people. I think I've already said that. So the next thing is up is I need to cut my roster. Um, so this is the part that is kind of controversial. In a perfect world, you do the cut before the season flips. And the reason for that is if you cut before the season flips, you don't get all the penalties that you're going to get if you wait until after the season flips. So I'm willingly taking penalties in this case. Let's see what we got here. Speed. Man, these guys are slow. Anybody got good size that I could potentially turn into a linebacker? Or nope, he's skinny. That dude skinny. Uh, okay. Well, we're just gonna get rid of all three. Goodbye. So, and again, I'm also looking here to see can I convert someone like this guy. I probably will convert him over to I'll make him a corner. Um, and then we'll go to I'll recruit. It's not a big deal. This guy can't really do much. Neither of these guys. Wow, that's horrible. Um, get rid of these guys too. Go to wide receiver. Again, man, this is just not going to be fun. So, okay, gonna get rid of a lot of them. Because none of them are probably big enough to play a position I could actually use. So I'm not going to move some of these guys just yet because I'm going to have to figure out what I'm doing with them. But we're going to release all these guys. This is going to be as bad as when I took over Colorado. Um, so we're on a vertical. I am going to try to run the ball. This guy's good. This guy's good. This guy's good. This guy is not. Uh, he's not strong. I can't move him. Get rid of him. So what I'm looking here is to see if people have strength because I can move them defensive tackle. Not good. Not good. Um, these two guys are serviceable. I also don't want to have to replace everything on my line, so that will make things a little bit harder. This guy's got good strength. He's got good speed. He's going to stay because I'm moving him defensive tackle. This guy's good. He can stay where he is. This dude is strong. He'll go to defensive tackle. Keep him. Keep him because I can develop him. Get rid of these two. So, and then again, keep this dude. Get rid of him. I'm gonna be recruiting quite a bit actually. It looks like. Punnel. I'll leave the specialist alone, but I am gonna get rid of him just because he's a punnel. Good. They have good specialists. That's a good thing. It's one less thing I have to recruit for. And actually, specialist is one of the hardest things to recruit for at this point. Okay, let's see. Line. Do not like this guy. Get rid of him. I like these two guys. This guy's really weak for alignment. Got good speed. Actually, we'll keep that guy because I can move him defensive end. He'll move to defensive end. He's not really good as a defensive tackle. These two gotta go. Okay. Defensive end. This guy definitely has to go. Actually, all three of these guys are gonna go, which is good that I'm gonna have two. So I'm gonna have to recruit at least two defensive tackles. Linebacker. I'll get rid of these two. I'm gonna hold those two just as a hedge bet. Cornerback, again, I moved that dude already. I'll keep Guy as a hedge bet, but I'm going to get rid of Ruckle. And strong safety, same thing. I'm just going to get rid of them both. I'll play the dice. And then free safety, same thing. He's not bad as a box safety. Get rid of these three. Okay, so as you can see, I think roster-wise now, I am going to have a lot of opportunity for people to come in and play. So this is probably as bad as, yeah, this is as bad as what I did to Colorado when I took them. Actually, this is worse. But again, I came in thinking that I would have to cut pretty deep. Now, what this is going to mean for me is my spring training is going to look really wonky because I'm not going to have different people. And I can live with that. So staff-wise, I'm going to have a lot of opportunity. Roster-wise, I'm going to have some opportunity. I am going to get hit. I didn't look to see who I've got. I did look at these guys. I'm actually not really comfortable with any of these guys. I would cut them if I could. So the next video I'll do recruiting, but as I take over Zero to Hero, the first thing I got to do is figure out how I can build pipelines in the states like Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Texas, and Florida. Texas and Florida, because generally they have very talent rich. Even in 3 stars or 2 stars, I can get someone who's decent that I can help do this. The problem I'm going to have with this conference is just in general, I haven't even looked at my schedule yet. So if we look at the schedule, I should beat UNLV, probably can beat South Florida, probably can beat Penn State. Arkansas State's okay. I'm probably not going to beat Shark and Coastal. Shark has a really good team though. Georgia State can beat them. They're really bad. Louisiana Lafayette will be a hard game. I can beat Texas State. I can beat Arkansas. Troy I should be able to beat South Alabama, UTSA. So in theory, I will probably the reality is I need to be 11-1 or 10-2, and I need to have a quality win. So I need for one of these teams to get ranked. Other than Coastal, I'm not going to beat Shark with this squad. Not unless I luck out and get a whole bunch of transfers. Now, the beauty is in the transfer market, there are some really good players. So, let's just look and see if it shows. We'll look at transfers. So first of all, if you look at the transfers, there's some really good ones out here. Wonder why he's not showing up. Oh well. But I should be able to get a few of them. And if I can, then I should be in pretty good shape. Max Brogan is a former Maryland star. He should be really good. I wonder where Early is. Um, yeah, Lawrence Early is another good person to show you him. He doesn't have a great arm, but he does have accuracy. So um, I'm gonna try to get one of these. I'm not hopeful I'll get any of them because I'm gonna have to hope that someone values playing time or values playing close to home, and I can find someone that actually is close to home. So it's going to be interesting, but I'll do a whole video on the recruiting. Hopefully this helps you a little bit as you move into staff hiring. Again, the key with staff hiring is generally pick one of your coaches. I like doing the head coach to be your main recruiter, but now since you do have a recruiter, you can actually get scouters and recruiters to help you with it. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator should be people who call plays, but it's okay to also use the head coach for that. If we were to, let me do this before I lose it. Go back to dashboard. We'll export the team. See how this goes. But if you look at like, I don't know if it's going to let me, but if you look at Maryland, so they have Nestor Laney, who's a head coach. Now, again, Nestor is 91 years old, right? And he's arguably probably the best coach that's ever lived. Um, this is not normal. Now, there were a couple guys in the league that are similar to him, but as you can see by Nestor, the dude is just a legend, right? Um, and he's really good. Gary Hernandez is the type of coordinator I want, where he's good at coaching offense. He's not a recruiter. His job really is to coach my offense. And I want a good play caller for that. Gary Abernathy is, again, his job is to coach my defense. Now, he does do a good job at assessment and recruiting. Honestly, Gary is probably going to replace Lester whenever Lester decides to hang it up, or he decides that it's time to go. Um, so, but Gary Abernathy, again, could be the head coach type person. But the way I generally try to do it is I want my recruiters to be able to call plays. There are other coaches who like to have the recruiters be able to recruit. Now, I will tell you that if you look at my head scout is a decent scouter. Um, Again, Maryland has a lot of money. They can splash money wherever they want to for the most part. And again, my recruiter was actually pretty good as well. Um, so generally, and then if you look at like my quarterback coach was actually a head coach somewhere else. I only got him because he was good at this youngsters. Because I have a young quarterback that I wanted him to develop, and this is how I went. So this is what I talk about when I say cheese. Um, as you can tell, I went out and essentially got offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators to be my DL coach, which isn't really too far from real life. Now, this guy probably should be my quarterback coach, but I don't think I can move him easily. So, but anyways, that's it for tonight. Hope you liked the video. If it helps you, let me know. If there's something you specifically want me to show you, let me know. And I'm sorry I went through my roster and showed you how I was doing cuts. But I think that's important to kind of understand that when you take over a new team, it's okay to cut players. Now, you will get a penalty in some recruiting fashion, especially kids that value loyalty. Uh, but it's better than having bad players on your team. Now, what you'll want to do is also make sure that you look at recruit players first before you actually start doing the cuts, to make sure that you can actually get better players. In this case, I just can't stand those players, so I'm going to get rid of them. So that's it for tonight. Hope you liked this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to let me know.